Hey guys, I'm Catherine Gilbert, and I'm gonna inform you on the mission trip that I just went on and also what it means to be a missionary and who can be a missionary. I've got three things I want to tell you about. I want to tell you about how we planned our mission trip, what we did when we got there, and how we in Kingsport can be missionaries and how people who go over to different countries can be missionaries. So on Saturday, I just got back from the mission trip with my church trip and my church youth group. We went to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, to stay in a campground and do mission work. I know you don't really think of Myrtle Beach as a place you could go do a mission trip on. You normally think Africa, but anywhere you can do a mission trip on as long as you're showing God's love. So I'm going to start off by telling you how we planned our mission trip. We needed to raise money because we were going to take 26 people to South Carolina, and we couldn't do it with no money, obviously. So we sold decals, we sold cookbooks, we sold water bottles, we had dinners, we had fundraiser concerts, and in all these things that we did, the kids were involved and the kids were leading it and the kids participated, so they were the ones who were earning the money to get to go on this trip. We had a lot of planning we had to do for this trip. So to plan, we had to decide how many cars we're taking, decide if we're taking a trailer, decide who was going to drive, where was everyone going to sleep. Were they going to sleep in beds, on cots? Where were they going to sleep? We also had to decide when we got there, what were we going to do? What did a day look like while we were in Myrtle Beach? How are we going to show God's love every day? Another thing I want to tell you guys about is when we finally got ready to leave for our mission trip, we had to all sit down and decide what is our goal and what are we going to do when we get to the beach. Like, when you think of the beach, you think of vacation. But we had to tell our kids that we're going to show the love of God. That's our main goal. We're going to have fun with our friends, but number one, we're going to show God's love to anyone and everyone we encounter while we're at the beach and while we are helping other people. My next point is, what did we do when we finally got there? We were at the beach, we were at our house, we were there, we were finally there. Well, since we didn't go to another country and we didn't go to Africa where they needed us to dig wells or they needed us to provide shoes for the kids or shoes for the people or food or help build homes or churches. I mean, we weren't doing those things in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We were there with people who had a lot of money and who could stay wherever they wanted, and we were there with people who maybe didn't have enough money to stay in a nice house. We were there with all sorts of people, but that was perfect for the kids we took. It was perfect to go to that place because we went there to form relationships and to share God with the people who were very rich and the people who were just like us, who were normal people, normal everyday people we shared God's love with, and we showed them what it meant to be loved by Jesus and how to worship and how to live like Jesus. Since we weren't there to build things, we were there to hand out and to show and to give to other people whatever we could to show God's love. So we gave out bracelets that had colors on them, that had matching Bible verses for each color. We gave out water bottles to people at the basketball court where we spent most of our days. It was hot on the beach, so we spent most of our days at the swimming pool or the basketball court. Some of us went to the beach every day. Lots of us stayed at the basketball court. That was a great ministry because we got to form bonds with people who played basketball, and we played every single day. We got to give them water bottles with Bible verses on it. We got to invite them to church, to come to church with us that we were leading. We got to invite them to come and hang out with us wherever we were, and we formed bonds that will stay in our youth group, bonds that we'll have in our youth group forever, and also bonds we have with the people we made friends with in South Carolina that may not have lived anywhere near us. So that was really cool. Another really awesome part about this trip was that the kids decided to do this on their own. We normally take them to a Fuge or Billy Wayne ministry trip where they are the ones being taught. They are the ones who are coming closer to God. They are being taught how to worship. They're being taught Bible stories. but they decided that they want to go out and teach other people, which is really awesome. So it was student-led. They decided what they wanted to do, and they went after it, and it was a huge success. My third point I want to make is, how can we show God's love, and how did we show God's love? The same way that missionaries who go to Africa show God's love. So how did we do it here in the United States? And just a few states away, how could we do it just the same as the people in Africa? That's where this EvangeCube comes in. So you can find this cube at evangecube.org, and it'll tell you how to use it. It'll tell you the descriptions of each picture, and also you can look at IMB, International Missionary Board.org, and that's where you can learn what a missionary is and how missionaries go on missionary trips and how you can get involved. So this just goes through the story of Christ, the story of Jesus, and how you can be accepted and a follower of Jesus, and how you can get to earn a spot in heaven and to live with God and Jesus forever. So it's a really cool tool to use in that it breaks all the barriers of communication, because you're looking at pictures and you're learning the story of the gospel. You're learning the gospel through a blog, and it's really awesome. And that's what people here in the United States use to show the gospel, and what people in other countries use to show the gospel, and we got to use these, which was really awesome. So to conclude, I just want to let you guys know how to form and plan your mission trip, how to really understand who a missionary is, that it's someone who just shows God's love and tells people about Jesus. You don't have to go to another country. You can go across the street or to your school and you can be a missionary. And I just really hope that since we took a bunch of 5th graders to Myrtle Beach and they got to share God's love, that you know that you can do it, and any adult can do it anywhere you are. So I hope that I maybe persuade you or informed you about a missionary to where you might be curious about what else you can do to become a missionary or learn more about what they are. So thanks.